Are you a resident of Scott County?
I am.
The workstation that you've identified as having been set up, was that your workstation that you utilized performing your responsibilities for AT&T?
That's correct.
What were your hours of work as a customer service representative for AT&T?
At that time, I believe I was working 11 to 8.
Would that be 11 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. During this period of time, was Mr. Dinkins employed?
No.
All right. Now, I want to ask you about your knowledge of certain individuals. Did you know Mr. Dinkins to have children with other women?
Yes.
Were you familiar with a young lady by the name of Aisha Langford?
We have been acquainted.
When would you have met Aisha Langford relative to the events of July of 2020, if you recall?
At a gathering down at the river.
And would that have been in the summer of 2020?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right here. During my research, my mind went back to thinking, okay, this man has not been in his son's life. He has a barbecue, right? He obviously scopes this poor baby out because he is a SEX offender. And I'll talk about that on my overview. But he is an SEX offender. And so just so happens he meets up with this girl and she tells him, the son wants to see him. And on this particular day, instead of him getting his 13-year-old brother, he takes the 10-year-old sister. I think this was premeditated, and he wanted her from the jump, sadly.
Ma'am.
Did you have an opportunity to meet the children of Aisha Langford?
I have met Victorious once, but not Briasia.
All right. And who did you understand Henry Dinkins to be the father of?
Victorious.
Okay. Now, at any time prior to July 9th of 2020, had Briasia ever come out to your apartment to spend the night?
No.
Had DL, and we're referring to the child as DL, had DL ever come out to the apartment to spend the night?
No.
Okay. Directing your attention then to the events of July 8th of 2020, did Mr. Dinkins speak with you about having run into Aisha Langford?
Yes.
And what did he report to you as far as the contact that they had had on July 8th of 2020?
That he was going to spend his time with his son and is going to bring Briasia with him.
All right. Now, were the original plans to bring Briasia or just simply DL?
This DL.
Okay. Did that later change as of July 9th of 2020?
Yes.
On July 9th of 2020, do you recall what day of the week it was?
No, I do not.
All right. Would it have been a work day, though?
Yes.
With your understanding that DL was going to come to the apartment, normally where would you and Mr. Dinkins sleep?
In the bedroom.
With the child coming to the apartment, was there some discussion about how you would handle sleeping arrangements?
Yes.
And what accommodations did you put in place to handle at least one extra individual staying there in the apartment?
Me and Mr. Dinkins would stay on the air mattress, and the kids would take the bedroom.
Okay. Did you set up some type of air mattress there in the apartment when the children came over?
Yes.
Where was that air mattress set up at?
In my living room.
All right. Now, going to July 9th of 2020, when did you learn that Briasia actually was going to be spending the night there at your apartment with her brother DL?
I believe it's 24 hours.
Okay. Okay. Oh, you thought that she was going to stay for a period of one night?
Mm-hmm.
But when did you realize that then she actually was going to be coming over?
That day.
All right. How did you learn that Briasia actually was going to be there to spend the night with her brother, DL?
Mr. Dinkins asked, I said, that's fine.
Sure. Do you recall what time of day that Mr. Dinkins would have returned to the apartment with DL and Breasia?
I do not recall, but I was at work.
You were working?
Yes.
Let me ask you this. What vehicles did the two of you have available for use that were driven by the two of you on a regular basis?
A black Camaro and a maroon-ish type of Impala.
All right. Were those two cars always parked there in the parking lot for use at the apartment complex?
Yes.
Was there something distinctive about the black Camaro?
It has some decals on it.
Can you describe the decals for us?
I believe it was a lion head, and I believe two crowns, a king crown and a queen crown on the hood.
Okay. And then was those decals also along the passenger and driver side of the vehicle as well?
I believe so.
All right. Now, the Chevy Impala itself, how would you describe the tint of the windows on that vehicle?
Very dark.
And then did it have specific stickers that were affixed to the vehicle?
Probably.
Do you remember at this point in time?
No.
That's all right. Did Mr. Dinkins drive both of those vehicles?
Yes.
On July 9th, when he had gone to pick DL up, which vehicle had he been driving?
The Impala.
Oh, that's what you thought?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes.
All right. And at any rate, when Mr. Dinkins arrived back there at the apartment with the children, did he have any clothing for the children as of yet?
As far as I can remember, no.
Right. Once the children got there at the apartment, describe how the day played out.
Oh, I was at work. They were in there doing what they do. I was like, please be quiet because, I'm at work. And then after a while, Breasia got interested in what I was doing. So we interacted a little bit. Everything was fine. I got done with work, went into the living room. We all were interacting, having fun. It was just another day after work.
All right. When you indicate that Breasia became interested in what you were doing, were you working at your workstation there in the bedroom?
I was.
Were you showing Breasia anything associated with your work responsibilities?
Oh, I actually let her sit in my chair and actually watch what I do.
How was she responding to that?
She was happy. She was happy to learn what I was doing. She seemed interested in customer service, so I was like, sit right on in and jump in with me.
All right. Now, as far as the children doing what children do, what types of activities were they engaged in there at the apartment during the afternoon and evening of July 9th?
Outside of playing games on our phones, they were really interested in Grand Theft Auto.
Okay. What is Grand Theft Auto?
It is a game on a Xbox or a PlayStation.
Did you have a PlayStation or Xbox in your apartment?
I had both.
You had both? All right. Were both children playing video games?
Me, Mr. Dinkins, and Breasia were playing on my phone. Detorius was the one more interested in playing the Grand Theft Auto.
What room was DL located in when he was playing Grand Theft Auto?
In the living room, then eventually the bedroom.
And when you and Mr. Dinkins and Breasia were playing video games, what room were you located in?
It was in the living room.
Okay. Were you ever in the bedroom, though, playing the games?
I don't recall.
All right. Do you recall sitting on the bed with Breasia and playing games?
That I do remember.
Okay. And so when I asked you about being in the bedroom, sitting on the bed, was Mr. Dinkins there on the bed with Breasia playing the game?
No, that I don't remember.
But you do recall being in there in the bedroom with Breasia playing?
Yes.
All right. How did the evening then proceed beyond that?
Okay, so after a while, I would say like 11:30-ish after that, I got tired. I worked a long day. I'm sleepy. So I went to sleep. I heard Mr. Dinkins tell Detor she got until midnight to keep playing the game, and I fell asleep.
All right. Let me take...
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there because I'm not going to include the son's testimony because the lawyer is very, very rude and a little harsh to the boy. But I will like to remind you that the son did say that the father, Henry Dinkins, this lady, and Breasia were on the bed in the back playing games while he was up front alone, I found that to be really weird as well. He also said that he caught his dad on several occasions just staring at Breasia.
You back in time if I could.
Okay.
At some point in time, was any clothing brought to the apartment for the children to wear?
Yes.
Explain.
Their mother bought over some overnight clothes for them.
All right. Would that have included pajamas?
Yes.
All right. How was that accomplished then?
She brought them.
Did she come into the apartment?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Did either child, one of the children, go out and meet the mother in the apartment or in the parking lot of the apartment?
That I cannot recall.
So that's not something that you were a witness to?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then do you have an idea generally what time of evening that Aisha Langford would have dropped clothing off for the children?
I do not.
Okay. Were there any meal times or bath times that night?
Yes.
Describe.
They both took showers, of course, separately, and they were given oversized white shirts to wear to sleep.
All right. Who gave them oversized white shirts to wear to sleep?
Mr. Dinkins.
All right. Who did those shirts belong to?
Mr. Dinkins.
What size is Mr. Dinkins?
Last time I checked, 4XL.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to stop it one more time because this was another instance in her testimony that boggled me. If the mother had just came and dropped off clothes for the both of them, which included pajamas, what eluded this man to give these people his huge tail t-shirts to put on? Another red flag. We will continue.
With the children bathing separately, I'd like to talk with you about your bathroom. What fixtures are within the bathroom?
What fixtures?
Yeah.
There's a sink, toilet, and a shower.
All right. Now, is it simply a shower?
No, you walk in, it's sink, toilet, shower.
Is there a bathtub within the bathroom?
Yes.
All right. And then so my question is, some bathrooms simply have a shower. Other bathrooms have the bathtub with the shower
this
head.
had the bathtub and the shower.
A shower head?
Mm-hmm.
All right. As far as the bathtub was concerned, did you have curtains that hung in front of the bathtub, or
Yes.
was it like some type of glass sliding doors?
No, shower curtain.
All right. The reason I asked that question, later on when clothing was recovered belonging to the children, Breasia had wet clothing. Do you know what that would have been attributable to?
I'm going to presume that it was from the shower.
All right.
Getting wet.
All right. Is the bathroom very big?
No.
So if a child were to take off their clothes to get in the shower, and it was within the proximity of that bathtub, would it be very easy for those clothes to get wet on the
Yes.
floor?
Yes.
Another question that I want to ask you involves a little washcloth that ended up being very dirty that went back with Breasia's clothes. At some point in time, had there been a washcloth used that she used to wipe down her feet because they were dirty?
At some point, yeah, I presume.
Okay, all right. All right, now, once the children took their baths, did they have dinner?
Yes.
All right. And then after dinner, before people started to go down for bed.
Let me stop it one more time. Now, the lawyer is very sharp. This lady is a tremendous lawyer. This woman that she is examining at this moment, she knows full well that they didn't use a rag to wash this baby's feet. How? She didn't go outside while she was there, so why would y'all wipe her feet? And why would there be mud on it? No. Mr. Dinkins took this baby out to a field. He got her feet dirty. He decided to wipe those feet clean, trying to erase evidence. But you carry on, keep lying, lady.
What were the activities within the apartment?
That's it.
Okay. Were the kids continuing to play video games?
Yes. I don't know how long Victoria stayed on the game after I went to sleep, but that's all I know.
Okay. Who was the first individual of the four of you to go to sleep that evening?
Breasia.
Where did Breasia lay down to go to sleep?
The bed was off my bed. Is it on the side with Dinkins' closet?
I'd like for you to come down to the diagram if you could. And this draws just a basic stick figure to represent the location where you saw Breasia laying when she went to bed that night.
He would.
All right. Were you the type of person that would challenge Mr. Dinkins?
No.
Okay. How would you respond to him?
Submissively.
All right. What room or what window did you look out when you said you saw Breasia?
The window above my bed.
Where specifically did you see Breasia standing?
She was like right between like the passenger door and the back door. Like right there.
Of what?
Of the Impala.
The maroon Impala?
Yes.
And how did you know it was Breasia?
Her description is very distinctive.
Okay, y'all, this is the part I probably fast forward a little too far, so let me give y'all an overview. This is a long testimony, so I'm just trying to fast forward so you can get the gist of it, but don't have to watch the whole thing, and I'm trying to alleviate commercials as well. However, on this part, she's telling them about when she woke up in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning, she says, and she said she had to use the restroom, and when she was coming from the restroom, she did not see Breasia. She said once she used the restroom, she got her glasses, because she wears glasses, clearly, to make sure that her eyes aren't playing tricks on her. So she didn't see her again, so she decided to feel for her. And upon feeling for her, she was not in the bed, so she checked the entire house. She was not in the house, and neither was Mr. Dinkins. So shortly after, she says maybe 30 minutes after, Mr. Dinkins quietly opens the door, sneaking in the home. She said he goes in the closet. He retrieves some item from the closet. She doesn't know what it was. And he's going back out to the car. She said she never asked him where Breasia is, which I think is very dumb. But she said she never asked him where the baby was or why isn't she in the home or anything of that nature. But she did say she looked out the window, and this is the part where we're at now, where she says she saw Breasia standing in the passenger door of his car.
Her hair is very distinctive. The gigantic shirt she was wearing.
Okay. So was she in that white, large T-shirt that Mr. Dinkins had the children put on after they took their baths?
Yes, ma'am.
When you looked out the window and you saw Breasia standing along the passenger side of the Chevy Impala, were you able to see her face to get a sense of any expression or emotional state for the child?
No, ma'am.
Explain.
It's like her head was like, I had an aerial version of it, so I can only see like the top. I can't see her face.
Okay. And then when you looked out the window, could you see the front of her body, or was it the back of her body, or even a side profile?
Like a side profile.
A side profile. Later on, did you have occasion to draw a diagram for law enforcement to give them a perspective of where you observed Breasia standing relative to the maroon Chevy Impala?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Your Honor, may the record reflect that I'm showing counsel what's been marked as State's Exhibit number 93. May I approach, Your Honor? I'm handing...
You may.
Oh, thank you, Your Honor. I'm handing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 93. Do you recognize State's Exhibit 93?
I do.
How do you recognize State's Exhibit 93?
This was the diagram I created.
And then if you could speak in the microphone so that we could hear that.
This is the diagram that I created.
This diagram depicts what specifically?
Where Breasia was standing.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would move to introduce State's Exhibit 93 into the record.
No objection. Exhibit 93 will be admitted.
Your Honor, may I publish that?
You may.
person, what I'd like for you to do, can you see this right there on that screen in front of you?
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to tell me how you want to orient this particular diagram. At the top, we see 53rd.
Correct.
Do you want me to keep it there, or do you need me to turn this paper to orient it in a different way?
No, I got it.
All right, okay, so think about our written record. Obviously, we can look at the picture, but our written record is very helpful for us to describe this. Have you drawn 53rd on this diagram?
No, I did not draw 53rd Street.
No, is there a marking on there to
Yes.
indicate where 53rd is?
Yes.
What direction does 53rd Street run?
It's like it's from east to west.
Okay, and on this diagram, where is it located?
To the north?
Okay, and so then would that be to the top of our diagram?
Yes.
All right. Now, as we are looking at what's depicted just below that, can you explain the area so that we've got some perspective of what this diagram is depicting?
This diagram is depicting where I looked out the window and saw Breeze is standing.
Okay. I'm going to point to certain areas. This box here that has an X, what does that represent?
The Impala.
All right. The area just above that long rectangular box, what does that represent?
That's the parking lot where the apartments are.
All right. And then on this side of the vehicle, which side of the vehicle is that to represent?
That X is where Breasia was standing.
This big open area here, what is this big open area here?
The parking lot.
And then off to what I'm going to describe as I'm looking at it, the right side of the diagram, we've got a larger box. What's that supposed to represent?
Now that I cannot recall.
That's okay. And then we've got what looks like a section that kind of goes straight and then angles off. What is that to represent?
I do not recall.
That's okay. But at any rate, does this give us a perspective of where you saw Breasia standing?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, that's right. The $6,400.
And is that how you were able to identify it as 3:30? When Mr. Dinkins went to the bedroom, where was Detorius at?
Sleeping on the bed.
Was he still in his original position?
I'm going to presume.
All right. When Mr. Dinkins went into the bedroom to get into his closet, did he keep that bedroom light off?
Yes.
As he went to his closet, you'd indicated that he got something out of the closet.
Yes.
Did you have any idea what it is that he was getting?
I do have no clue.
When he moved away from the closet, could you see anything in his hands?
No.
Do you know that he retrieved something from the closet?
Yes.
And then explain why you weren't able to determine what it is that he got from the closet.
He could have concealed it. He could have put it somewhere where I can't see it.
Okay. From there, then, what did Mr. Dinkins do?
Leave.
And then, did you see him go down the staircase?
Yes.
Did you continue to watch out the window?
I did.
What did you observe happening?
Car pulling off.
And was Breasia in the car when it pulled off?
Now, the windows are tinted. You can't see through.
Okay. So at the point in time that he's in the closet, had you looked away from the window?
Yes.
Okay. And then when he's going down the stairs, do you go back to the window?
I do.
Had he already gotten inside the vehicle?
Yes.
And was at the point in time that he was pulling away?
Yes.
At the point in time was he was pulling away, did you see Breasia anywhere in the parking lot?
No.
All right. Does Mr. Dinkins give you any explanation at all as to what is going on?
No.
Does he suggest to you that Breasia wanted to go home to be with her mother?
No.
Does he suggest that maybe she hadn't been feeling good and so maybe she's needed some medical care?
No.
Is there any explanation at all?
No.
How are you feeling when you note that he's leaving the parking lot and Breasia is no longer out there?
I can't even tell you.
All right. Are you scared?
Very.
How then do things develop there at the apartment?
Well, eventually, Aisha and Mr. Dinkins come back with a first officer.
Before we get there, does Mr. Dinkins ever return to the apartment again?
To pick up Victorious, that's it.
Okay, so between the time that he left shortly after 3:30, did Detorius ever wake up?
No.
Do you recall telling law enforcement that he woke up and he was crying?
He woke up, and I told him your sister's gone, and then he started tearing up.
He started, okay, gotcha, tearing up.
Yeah.
All right. Then when Detorius started to tear up, or DL started to tear up, goodness, what did you do to try and calm the child down?
I told him to come in the living room and lay down, because I don't want you to come in the living room. And he did. And then not too long after, Mr. Dinkins shows up, grabs him, and they go.
All right. Do you know specifically what time Mr. Dinkins got back to the apartment?
I do not.
Now, can you give us a perspective relative to whether or not it was night or if the sun was starting to rise?
There was light.
Okay. Had the sun just started to rise around the time that he returned back to the apartment complex?
I believe the sun was already up.
All right. Was it still really early in the morning?
Yes.
Describe what happened when you realized he was back,
When he was back
Mr. Dinkins.
to come get Victorious,
Yeah.
I really can't explain it. Yes.
Describe his emotional state when he came into the apartment.
He was like normal.
Okay.
He came and got Victorious, came and got his clothes, said we gotta go, and left.
All right. Did you ask him about Briasia and where she was at?
I did not.
Okay.
Here we go again. At this point, I think it's probably too late, but I'm not sure. But I think if she had asked or inquired about this baby ahead of time and let him know that she's curious and that she's on to him, she could have saved the baby's life. But again, he's back. No babies with him again. He's about to leave again. And this dumbass still not asking any questions.
Did Mr. Dinkins make any statements to you about there were issues that had developed?
No.
You don't recall any of that?
No.
All right. And then from there then, when you say that he came to get Detorius, had you discovered that his phone was still there in the apartment?
I did.
Tell us about that.
It was plugged up into like my work tower, but there was no charge. It was dead. So that was like early in the morning. So I took it off. I put it on the charger in the living room. And once it charged up and he came, I'm like, here, take your phone so I can call you.
All right.
And he took it.
All right. Now, when he came and...
Okay. Here's another key point from the son's testimony. Now, y'all just heard her say he left the phone. Red flag. You all know when you carry your cell phone with you, you're recording or GPSing every location that you hit. So he purposely left that phone. Foul play. Okay. Now, when she found out the phone was there, she charged it, told him to take his phone or whatever. The son says they went to Walmart and the dad had the battery out of the phone. There was another way of him keeping his location from being pinged. Keep walking with me now.
picked up Detorius, what else did you indicate that he took?
A bag of clothes.
All right. Did he leave the apartment at that point?
He did.
When he left the apartment, did you actually reach out to him right away?
I did.
Explain.
Because I was concerned. Well, what's going on? Talk to me. What's going on?
Tell me about that.
I tried to get him to talk to me.
And what was he saying?
He wasn't saying anything.
Did you find that troubling?
Very much so.
Were you asking him about Briasia?
I did not.
Okay. So what was the type of question that you were asking him?
What's going on? Is there anything I can do? Is there anything I can help? What's going on? He's like, nope, don't want your help. I'm like,
Okay, clearly at this moment, she's slow. That's it.
oh, okay. I don't know how I'm supposed to react to that, but okay.
All right. When Mr. Dinkins came, so then he leaves with Notorious.
Mm-hmm.
You call him?
Yeah, because he left it there. He actually left a bag. So I called him back that you left a bag here. He's like, okay, we're going to need that. So he came back, got the bag, and then left with Notorious.
Excuse me, Your Honor. We seem to have a lurker. I believe it's the child. Standing outside the door.
Thank you.
Did Mr. Dinkins return to the apartment to get another bag of clothing?
Yes.
How did he get access to that clothing?
I actually brought it down to him.
Did you go out in the parking lot?
Yes.
What vehicle was he in?
The Impala.
Did you go up to the vehicle?
I did.
When you went up to the vehicle, were you able to see who was in the car?
I did.
Describe what you observed.
That was him and Notorious, and that's it.
Did you see Briasia anywhere within the passenger compartment of that vehicle?
Not at all.
What went through your mind?
Besides my stomach ripping to pieces, a lot of things.
Okay. Do you want to articulate what went through your mind?
Fear, anger, more fear, more anger.
But again, at this point in time, she's still not asking about the baby. I'm not sure if she's unalive at this time. I'm not really sure. She had several chances to inquire about this child, to put a little fear in him and let him know he's not going to get away with whatever he's trying to do. Maybe he has actually assaulted her at this time, but not actually committed the unaliving act. But she's had so many chances.
Anger, confusion, wanting to know what's going on.
All right. And was Mr. Dinkins offering any explanation at all?
No.
What happened next?
And then next thing I know, detectives are at my house.
I don't know why they are giving this much out.